welcome back to yet another quarantine thrift haul. Have I replaced human interaction with online shopping? Yes. But do I feel bad about it? Also yes. If you guys are new here, I make thrifting videos once a week, even in quarantine, and every week I show you guys some of the items that I picked up and how I would style them. If you're not already following me there, check out my Instagram, it's HaleyWalker_, my TikTok, which is haleyinthedetails, and my Depop, which is haleyinthedetails as well. Some of the items you'll see in this video are already on Depop, and some of them will be very soon. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my life. I'm still in Florida at my parents' house. Have no idea when it's gonna be safe to go back to New York, but I am still madly working away at my poetry graduate thesis. Normally, I would only have class once a week for about 5 hours at a time, which is kind of a lot, but in terms of actual class time, not that bad. But since the semester is nearing an end, my class time has actually tripled. And did I plan for that? No. So if you didn't notice, last week's video was a day late, and this video is also probably a day late. It's not an excuse, it's just me confessing that I got a little bit overwhelmed and was not able to stick to the rigid schedule that I set for myself. I'm still determined to post here at least once a week, and I will also be posting on my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Depop throughout the week. I actually have 2 really exciting videos coming up. I'm gonna be doing 2 different thrift swaps with 2 of my good YouTube friends. So if you guys can guess who those people are, comment down below. And as usual, I'm still gonna be thrifting vintage pieces, so if there's anything else that you wanna see on my channel, you can always leave a comment down below. But anyway, as the title suggests, this might be my best thrift haul ever. I don't know if it's hot where you guys are, but it is scorching in Florida, and that has gotten me inspired to buy some very summery looks. So first up, I'm gonna show you guys a few things that I picked up from ThredUP. A couple weeks back, I did a ThredUP haul and review, and I've gone back twice now to buy more from them. So despite my grievances, I do actually think that they're one of the best options for affordable secondhand clothes online. First up, I have this gorgeous vintage gingham midi dress. I'm so obsessed with dresses and tops that have a wrap feature like this because it's a great way to cinch in your waist without having to add a belt. This dress also has some little baby puff sleeves, which are one of my other obsessions. But in general, I've just been really loving gingham lately. So I was looking for all things gingham, and this dress happened to catch my eye. I think this dress is from the 1990s, but it definitely gives me some 50s housewife vibes. Maybe because I'm essentially living like a 1950s housewife at this time, I'm inspired to dress like one as well. It's basically my cottagecore dream dress. Moving on, the next dress that I picked up from ThredUP is very much in that same category. It is another 1950s housewife looking dress. This one is also a check print, but it's much bigger and this time a beautiful seafoam green color. All of the different greens have been super popular for the last few seasons, and they certainly are not stopping anytime soon. This pastel plaid or gingham reminds me so much of brands like Lisa Says Ga, Courtyard LA, even Ghani or Capulet. Every once in a while you see a trend that's really popular and then kind of goes out of style, but 3 to 5 years later blows up again. And I think gingham is definitely one of those trends. I think we have the resurgence of the 60s and 70s to blame for that one. Yes, while this dress definitely looks like a 1950s housewife dress, it also kind of looks like something someone might wear in the 70s. Once again, I have my patent leather Mista boots, but this time I swapped out my gold Majuri jewelry for these crazy geometric earrings from Urban Outfitters a long time ago. If you live somewhere colder, I also think a dress like this would look really adorable with either a button down underneath or a white long sleeve turtleneck. Since it's in the 90s right now, I don't really have the opportunity to do any layering, but if this dress sticks around in my closet for a while, I will certainly do that next spring. Moving on, I'm gonna show you guys some things that I got from Depop. I'm gonna have all the sellers' names linked down below as well as popping up right here on the screen. As a person who's running a Depop store myself, I always appreciate when someone tags me in a post or shares my shop. So if any of you guys have a shop yourself or you have some favorite Depop sellers, please comment them down below. I would love to go check them out. First up, I have this beautiful 1980s vintage linen set. It does kind of look just like a midi dress, but it's actually a tank top and this big voluminous midi skirt. Most of the time I wear matching sets together, but you could obviously break this down into 2 separates. I just tend to prefer to wear them together. I happen to think hot pink looks really good with gold, so I paired it again with my Majuri jewelry, and then this pair of 90s block heels that I got from a different seller on Depop. This outfit feels like it would make a great beach cover-up or just a general lounging around in the summer kind of look because it's super light and comfortable, but at the same time looks a little bit more fashionable or dressed up. PSA, if you live in Florida or anywhere else that's opening the beaches, don't go. Or at least try to keep a very safe distance from people. Moving on, I have 2 items from a Depop seller that I've seen a lot of all over the app. She might be one of the Depop top sellers, but either way, she gets featured all the time. Her handle is Fawn Holly. First up is an amazing pair of longer shorts. These are actually what I would consider Bermuda shorts because they're a little bit more fitted than some of the other ones that I've showed you guys, but nevertheless, these are a really big trend for spring-summer 2020. Aside from the near perfect fit, I was really excited about these because of the crazy embroidery they have going on the pockets. I believe these are vintage 80s or 90s, and this pocket embroidery definitely feels like a vintage touch that I just haven't seen come back in a while. So for the rest of the outfit, I wanted to go for some very earthy vibes. I have this cotton linen blend button down in this booger green color that's also super popular. I just tied it up in the front and then tucked the bow underneath to create a super short crop top. For shoes, I have those same gold block heels, and for accessories, I have my same Majuri jewelry. If you want to get into the Bermuda shorts trend, but you're afraid of looking like your next door neighbor Cheryl, I would recommend pairing them with something that shows off a little more skin. As long as you go for a pair that are super high rise, you probably won't feel too exposed. Next up from Fawn Holly, I have a beautiful 1980s vintage white denim pencil skirt. I definitely struggle with skirts because I feel like most of the time they're so tight on my hips that my inner thighs become a walking cheese grater. But bless the 1980s because back then they used to make clothes for women with butts. If you have the same struggle, definitely get your hands on some 1980s vintage. I'm actually wearing this skirt right now in the talking portion, and I think it's super easy to dress down with a little crop top or something, but I also wanted to show how it could be really elevated and made to look very high fashion and chic. First, I paired this cowl neck 1980s vintage leopard print top that I got at Goodwill. Sometimes I feel like when you have something really basic like a solid white bottom, it's fun to pick a pattern top to go with it so you don't look too color blocky. Next, I threw on this gold 1980s vintage belt that I also got at Goodwill, just because I wanted to tie in the gold of my Majuri jewelry. And voila, you are a sexy 1980s school teacher. Second to last, I have something from a different ThredUP order that is the most casual piece in this haul. This is more a representation of what I actually wear lounging around the house, but it's just this romper that on first glance, I think looks like 1980s, 1990s vintage, but it's from Urban Outfitters. You can tell by the fact that it's short enough to warrant a detention at pretty much any public school. But thankfully it's still long enough to mostly cover my butt, so I decided to go for it anyway. The beachy pattern is really getting me in my Florida feels. I love the little buttons that look like a cross between tortoiseshell and coconut buttons, and the fabric is absolutely to die for soft. For shoes, I threw on my really disgusting vintage Air Force Ones. I had been wanting Air Force Ones for a really long time, and I actually found them in a vintage store in Paris last summer, which is probably the most obnoxious sentence that's ever come out of my mouth. But anyway, I just threw them on with some crew socks to, based on my YouTube demographic, put me where I belong with the other grandmas. There's something to be said for having a piece in your wardrobe like this that's really, really comfy, but still feels like a cute outfit. Because I swear when I am lounging around in my same pajamas from 8th grade, I really don't feel that motivated to do anything. But when I have this on, I feel like I can actually get through my classmates' 20-minute rant about Nietzsche. This might eventually end up on my Depop, but as for now, I'm enjoying wearing it lounging around the house. The last outfit that I have to show you guys is another pickup from Depop, and this one was one that was on my wish list for a very, very long time. This was actually one of the very first things that I saved when I made a Depop months and months and months ago. It's this gorgeous 1980s vintage housecoat that could be styled as a dress. And I don't know why I never just bought it because it was only $10, but I finally bit the bullet and I'm so happy with it. It is a little big on me, so all I did was roll up the sleeves and then belt it with this 1980s vintage belt from Beacon's Closet. And then to tie in the gold, I threw on my gold jewelry and my gold block heels. To be honest, the last outfit for this video was going to be something a lot more casual, but something like this just feels really in my comfort zone. I feel so much more myself and so much more confident when I go outside wearing something like this than I do wearing like a tank top and some jeans. I don't know, maybe I have some internalized desire to make everyone stare at me, but honestly, I'd rather people comment on my style than anything else about me. I cannot wait for quarantine to be over so I can rock this out and about in my day-to-day life, but until then, I'm totally going to wear this to the grocery store. Alright you guys, those are all the outfits for this week. Let me know down in the comments which was your favorite, and let me know if there's anything that you want to see me style in future videos. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I hope that if you're into fashion, you're finding ways to express yourself, even during a time where we're not really able to go outside and see people. Once again, leave a comment down below if you have a Depop store or a Poshmark or an Etsy, anything else, or if you have a favorite one run by somebody else, because I'm really trying to support small businesses during this time, and I'd much rather buy from an individual seller than from the Jeff Bezos empire that is ThredUP. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Depop if you want to see what I'm doing throughout the week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.